had to be life without notice. Okay, yeah, I think I'm live. The fuck? Let's join. I think I'm going to wait for maybe 2 or 3 persons to join before I commence. So we can talk about securing funding for your farm. It's an important topic because farming is capital intensive. If you don't have money, you can't farm on a large scale. Seeds, the cost of seeds, the cost of fertilizers, the cost of pesticides, herbicides, the cost of animal feed. So if you don't have a good backing financially, you find it very hard to succeed in farming. Very, very hard. Sorry, I'm kind of attending to one of my ponds, so I'm looking sideways to see what's happening in the pond. Oh yes, how to secure funding for your farm, because funding is actually one of the most important parts of farming. Please, if you join, just let me know where you're joining from. Let me know what you're joining from, and let me know what kind of farming you're into, so I know the audience that I have. Just let me know if you're a farmer or you're just a farm enthusiast. Yes, there are actually several ways of securing funding for your farm, but where you are, the stage you are, should determine what kind of funding you should be striving for. Because you can't just up and want to go get money from the bank without any track record or any of those things. Give me a minute, let me check. A lot of farmers want to scale. A lot of farmers want to expand, go into other parts of farming, but it's most times very difficult because of the money part, right? If you want to, say for example, you have a small farm, you have a small catfish farm, you want to expand, you want to get more fingerlings, increase your capacity, you want to go from 5,000 fingerlings to 20,000 fingerlings, or you want to go from 1,000 birds to 5,000 or 10,000 birds, you need funding, you need money. You need money. But I'm going to start, before I go into the ways you can get money, I have to first say that it is important for you to not rush into funding. Funding is not the main problem, right? Funding is not the main problem. It's important for you. I see, because I see farmers, a lot of farmers that say, oh, if I can just get somebody that will just give me 20 million naira, 50 million naira to go to, I want to expand, I want to do this, I want to do that. I mean, it would be nice. It would be nice. Who does not want 20, 30 million naira to expand, right? But it's the list of your problems when you start. As a new farmer, you shouldn't be going. You should not be. If you're looking for funding in the first 5 years of your farming, I'm sorry, you're not ready. You're not ready. If you're looking for funding in the first five years of your farming business, you are not ready. You are just driven by the money part. And you're going to be frustrated because nobody's going to answer you. Let's be honest. Nobody's going to answer you. Except if, of course, you have friends and family that can contribute for you. Nobody's going to answer you. Funding shouldn't be a discussion in the first 5 years. And this is me being lenient with the 5 years. This is me being lenient. The first 5 years of your farming, you shouldn't be talking about funding. Because I mean, you in 5 years, you shouldn't be, you're not even into, you've not gotten to that point where you are familiar with all the risks involved in that business in 5 years. So in 5 years, you shouldn't even be talking about funding. But this is for people who have been in farming for a while and want to scale up, right? So the first way you can get funding, is, one, speaking to people around you, right? So you can get investors, like people that you know, not necessarily people close, but people that you know have the money and can give you the money that you want, right? You speak to them. Hi, Miguel. Thank you for joining. You speak to them and show them what you have. Show them what you've done with your business. Show them where you started from. Show them your records. Show them what you've been able to achieve in all the years you've invested in farming. How you've gone from your initial capital to where you are now. Let's say you started 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago with 200,000 naira. You started farming with 200,000 naira, and now, you know, your farm is worth maybe 10 million naira. Show them that trajectory. People like stories. Tell them the story of how you were able to grow to this point B, how you were able to come from A to B in that time frame, right? And if you're able to do that, if they're interested, you know, they can say, okay, what is it that you want? So they might either just want equity from your farm, or just give you a soft loan, give you a loan to, you know, facilitate your expansion and all. And then you guys can talk about the terms. Very important. So that is one of the easiest ways a farmer can get funding. Now, the reason why people are not able to do that is because the reason why people find that difficult, or they don't always look at that option, they are always focused on the bank, is you don't want to explain yourself, or you don't have records. You don't have records to back up what you're doing. You don't have records to you're not keeping records. Your numbers are not adding up. You just start farming, and that's it. By the time you want to look for funding, you are running helter skelter, trying to cook up stuff. You should be ready from day one. If you're serious about farming, you should be ready from day one. What am I doing? How am I going to get to where I want to get to? Hi, Nichelle Reno. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. How am I going to get to where I'm going to? So if it's important for you to have records, There are a lot of people who want to invest in agriculture. There are a lot of people who want to invest in farming. But you have to prove yourself to them. You have to prove yourself. You have to show that I have done this and I can do it. If you give me the money, I can replicate it on a larger scale. You have to be able to prove that. And how can you prove that? Your records. Nobody wants to take a risk on someone who hasn't done it yet. Nobody. So yeah, that's the first way that you can get funding. I know so many people who have gotten funding this way, just by speaking to someone, giving them a good deal, and from there they were able to expand. Sometimes when you're even doing when you're doing well, people come to you. People come to you to ask, oh, can I invest? That's why I said money shouldn't really be the main problem for you as a farmer. Because if you there's a way you do your business, and there's a way you handle your farm. People would say, oh, I want to invest in this. Let's talk. I want to invest. And I know so many people that, like I said, who have gotten funding just, by selling a good story of how they came from point A to point B. And they are able to replicate that if given, the opportunity, or if given the funding. Everybody likes to make money. So if you give them a story of how you've made your money, they'll trust you enough to give you more. The second way you can secure funding to expand is by getting a supplier, maybe partnering with your supplier. So let me give you getting credit from your supplier. So for example, you are a poultry farmer, and for a while you've purchased your feed from a particular wholesaler. You have someone who you buy feed from every now and then, right? You've built a relationship with this particular person. Let's say for a while. I mean, you can't just start buying from somebody today and expect them to trust you. No, it has to be somebody you've built a relationship with over a period of time, you can approach this person and say, oh, look, I'll need credit from you, depending on, let's say, how much you've patronized this person. Person can go to records and check, okay, you've actually been a good customer for a while, you've been patronizing the business for a good number of years, number of months, depends. Person will be able to trust you to give you, say, chicken feed for free. Not for free, sorry, on credit. Person will be able to give you chicken feed on credit. And then you use your feed for a period of months, maybe when your chicken starts laying eggs. You can give the person, can pay the person in, depending on the terms of repayment, can pay the person back. So suppliers credit is very, very helpful for farmers. So it's important for you to build a relationship with a supplier in your industry. Very, very important. Build a relationship with a supplier in your industry. That is the easiest form of support you can get for a farmer. So, yeah. The third way of getting funding, that is after you've done all this, you've spoken to people around you, to gotten suppliers credit. Now the banks can see that, okay, this person is getting inflow of money, person is transacting well. Once they see that your statement of account is showing that you're a serious business person, then they can have a conversation with you. The banks can now have a conversation with you after you've managed to explore all these means and grow to a certain level. The banks can now have a conversation with you. Oh, we've seen your account, we want to let you know that, you can get funding of so for your business. At that point, you are no longer desperate or struggling. Banks don't need desperate people. They don't want desperate people. That's why they're not going to listen to you if you just walk into the bank now and say, oh, I need funding, I'm a farmer, I need funding, can you fund my expansion, my farm expansion? Nobody's going to listen to you. Nobody's going to listen to you. But if you've explored these two options I've given you from the beginning, then you are ready to go in with the bank of agriculture, normal commercial banks. You give them your books, they see your records, they can tell from your statement that you are capable, you are a serious business person, you're capable of paying back this loan. and they'll be happy to do business with you, right? They'll be happy to do business with you. Please, if you have any questions, drop them for me and I'll be happy to answer them. If you have any questions at all, please drop them. I'll be happy to answer. If there are no questions, I guess I have to. If there are no questions, I guess I have to go and tend to my fishes. I'm still on the farm, as you can see. I hope this helps somebody. I hope this helps somebody to, help them with the knowledge they need to scale up. Because I get this a lot. People always say, oh, how can I do this? How can I get funding? I need money. So I hope this live helps someone. If you have any questions, whether you're watching after the live has ended or now, you can leave them. You can write them for me and I'll be happy to answer. Otherwise, okay. I'm gonna end the live now. I'll see you guys another time. Bye.